St. Louis Lumberjacks and father-son pair Pops and Jeff were unfortunately the last place team on episode 6 of The Amazing Race season 37. The guys join me now via Zoom. Guys, what's up? How are you feeling?
Okay, I'm good,
Man,
man.
we're
Really
feeling
good.
great, man. We got a chance to see you want to see them go out a certain way, man. And it was a actually enjoyable episode.
It was. It
We went
was.
out in style, I feel like.
Yeah, I thought it was real cool,
Yeah,
man.
Oh,
Didn't
for
want to go
sure.
out, but
at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
we
very
yeah,
intense, but a good
Yeah.
strong finish. So we'll get to that in a second. But I want
right.
to back up in time a little bit. So, what was your guys' kind of initial reasoning for wanting to apply for the race?
Well, I started watching in like 2020 during COVID and fell in love with the show, fell in love with the game, fell in love with Phil as a host. The different people that you would see on there, the dynamics between the teams just always made me realize that if I ever did it, Pops and I would be the team. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? It would always be me and Pops that does that type of a challenge. And I started talking to him about it maybe about 2 years ago. I got showed up at a job site that we were doing together. I was like, Pops, we're going on the Amazing Race. Start watching it. So he started binging it at home with his wife, and he fell in love with the show too. We talk
Yeah,
about it all the
yeah.
time, and
It was almost like we created. I mean, because we always challenge each other at anything. I don't care if it's throwing rocks. We can be at a dinner. We can be at a dinner table as soon as we finish in a restaurant. I wrap my little straw wrap. I'm trying to put it in his cup.
yeah,
Any
throw it across the
good
table.
across anything. So it's like this Amazing Race was like right up our alley, man. Right up our alley. We was looking
Well,
forward to it.
yeah, and you did an incredible job. Jeff, something that you said that stands out to me is how once you realized you wanted to be on the show, was always going to be with your dad. And I'm curious, something that really stood out to me as a viewer is this very positive, kind of loving father son relationship that the two of you have. So,
Yes.
one, what does that mean to you? And two, have you always been this close? Because it was a great representation, I think, to see on the show this year.
We've always been this close. My dad, when I was a little kid, he would, and now as a grown man with a 4-year-old son and a 12-year-old daughter, I know what it takes to go ahead and bring your child with you pretty much everywhere that you go. I mean, I was maybe 10 years old and he'd go to like card games in basements with all his friends and it's nothing but adults there, and my dad doesn't drink, but they're having their beers and having a good time and gambling, playing cards, and he got his 10-year-old 9-year-old son with him, and deal him in, because he's teaching me how to play games like tunk and spades and stuff. So I would literally be hanging out with my dad from as far back as I remember. I was about 7 when he first handed me a chainsaw and taught me how to use that and cut up wood. And, as I got older, he taught me more about the tree business. So we literally have always been this close. We do pretty much everything together. Everything that I could think of, anything that my dad has been through, I was right by him when he went through it. Anything that I've went through, the same. So yeah, it's always been that way. Watching that show, I could tell it's not just, okay, this is what Captain is looking for. They'll love me and my dad. It's like, this is who, and it wasn't just because we're stronger together and I knew we could win the race, which I knew we could. And I know that this is my best opportunity to win. But it's more like if I experience that and I get to see that, I want Pops to experience it and see it with me. If this is going to be my first time doing this. This is going to be very special to me, and it has to be Pops that's there too.
I mean, I got to say, I've been waiting on this guy since high school, college. He went by accident, so when he
Yeah.
came, it was like, all right, here he is. So I every moment after, I enjoyed him and I took advantage of it. I never took anything for granted. I want to spend quality time with this guy,
Yeah.
and here we are still doing what
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you went all around the world or parts of Asia anyway. So, all right,
Yeah.
speaking of, let's go to Dubai. So, I have to know something I've been thinking about since the moment I saw it last night. How
Mhm.
much has it been eating you that you didn't step on that first train headed to the pit stop?
So we wrapped up. When was this? It was about almost a year ago now. Really, literally, almost a year
Yeah,
ago. Pretty
yeah.
much this month that this happened. For the past year, that's all I've thought about, man. And you replay it in your head. Watching the episode last night made me feel a little bit better because I'm not sure that we could have got on that train. you know, I remember being in the moment and I'm like, Pops, we got to be on platform 1. Is this platform 1? I seen a big old 4. I never seen a 1 anywhere. But we were moving as we were saying that.
Right.
It's not like I said, stop. We can't get on this train. We were still moving towards the train. And of course, you can't get on the train without everybody that's with you. You know what I mean? And so everybody wasn't going to make it on that train regardless. As I'm walking towards the train and I put my arm out, the train starts to close on my arm. And, you know, my arm is worth more than $1 million. So everybody on the train is looking at me like, no, this will take your arm with it. You know what I mean? So I snatch my arm out, it closes. It's like a movie. You can't make that stuff up. It really happened exactly that dramatic way that it looked like it happened. And, you know, we knew he had saw through the window. He saw Nick and Mike pull up to the train station. We knew, knowing those guys, they were going to make it within those 4 minutes that next train had come.
Right.
Yeah. And the only reason that was so defeating and so devastating was because Pops's ankle was kind of out of commission pretty much.
That flight, I never flew that far and I didn't wear any compression socks or anything because I didn't know about it. But that would have made a big difference.
Yeah.
As soon as after we took our first flight to Hong Kong, that was like 17 hours.
Yeah.
My ankle was like, I'm like, look, Jeff, what's going on? You know?
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, he broke both of his legs and the doctor said he wouldn't walk again. He fell out of a tree. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the doctor said he wouldn't walk again. So he's been able to do everything he's had to do. He just hadn't been doing all that running and all of that stuff. So sprinting and stuff, you know, we sprinted when we first were in LA, running down steps, going to the car to get to LAX and everything. So that affected him. Since we've been back, he has been to doctors and they've giving him the treatment that he needs, and he's ready to go now.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean? So it wasn't just the flight, it was everything that we had done.
But back to that question, it made me think about, all we needed was what? 8 more seconds. Yeah. And I thought about things we did while we were running there. Maybe we shouldn't have did, or maybe we should have did. You know, you know how they go when you look there by seconds, because
there were so many things that happened along the way between me getting out of the water and us getting to the train station,
right?
That like everything just plays in your head because give us 3 more seconds. We're on that train.
We're on the train. The race is over after that.
And we're at least 4 minutes ahead of Nick and Mike. You know, so yeah.
What are those, now that I know kind of the backstory on the ankle thing, because I will say one thing that I respected about the two of you is, you know, I appreciate hearing that insight now, but we really never got that on the show, right? I mean, you never really used that as an excuse, and you just kept fighting on. But I noticed that when you ran to the pit stop, I was like, something's wrong with his leg or his ankle or something.
That's pretty good, yeah.
So now knowing that, I'm curious, and you know, what were those kind of immediate emotions or nerves once you know that Mike and Nick are with you, you know, on that train? Because you know at this point it's going to be a foot race, which is also not something we commonly see on this show.
Right. Well, go ahead.
Well, it's just it's a crazy feeling, right? Because by now we've been on this race for a duration of time to where you've gotten really close to this teams. It's only down to 8 teams. And that night in the desert of Dubai, we all got really close, man. Like it was like we were up all night dancing and you know, eating really good food. We ate good lamb chops, camels before they introduced us to those camels.
And that was the first time,
right? But
that was the first time we was ever to really talk to our you know, our
and then if you see in the airport at the beginning of the episode too, we all say that was hands down our favorite moment of the race, because in that airport it was like a calming, like, okay, you know, these two teams just voted for each other, but let's all sit down. We all ordered these little drinks from the restaurant at that airport, and we thought it was alcohol in it. We found out later that it wasn't. Everybody's acting all tipsy because we thought it was such a good time. But anyways, at the end of the day, we were really close to Nick and Mike, so you feel for them too. But at the same time, we know his ankle is messed up. We had been knowing that during this race, we have to keep some distance between us and whoever is behind us. If we don't keep that distance and it does come down to a foot race, against any team, we didn't really have a shot because he wasn't going to be able to run on that leg.
For sure. I'm glad you brought up relationships within the show, because one that I think a lot of viewers really saw play out, you know, was the one you guys formed with Melinda and Erica. And was that because they were another parent-child relationship, or how did that kind of happen? What was the strategy behind that?
No, it happened super organically. Erica and I first we both got on that flight together, right? So on leg two, we're leaving Hong Kong, headed to Japan, and we've been told no so many times. Every other team, they're like, okay, we're going to get rest, which is a strategic thing too. But they've decided not to try to get on this flight no more. I'm seeing Erica, and I'm realizing we're just alike. We're not taking that no for an answer unless it comes down to the final minute and we have to go get on our other flight. And we were able to get on this earlier flight. We talked. We found out that we were both Big Brother super fans. We both love Big Brother. We bonded over that. Pops and Melinda were in the same boat. Melinda's knee was bothering her really bad. Pop's ankle was bothering him. And we both felt like we had just dragged our 60-something-year-old parents across the world, to do something that we really wanted to do. And we had a strategy behind it too. It was like, okay, if I'm on a roadblock, it won't be myself and Erica. It'll be me and Melinda or Erica and Pops so that we can help each other out. And, it's not time to show. They don't have enough time to show every time that we helped each other, but we helped them a lot and they helped us a lot. Yeah. It was very equal in that sense. And besides that, it stemmed from that to where we're like, okay, we'll make it a parent-child thing. And we wanted to bring in Ernest and Bridget, but they went out on that next leg. And that was so sad because I was super excited to bring them into that same alliance.
Nice speak.
Yeah.
Well, I think I can speak for a lot of viewers when I say it was nice to see the two of you teams link up. So I appreciated that.
Nice.
Now, my final question for you. You guys were competitive. You were strong. And I hated to see you go out that way. So if Phil gives you the call and is like, Pops, Jeff, you coming back? Would you go and compete again on the show? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes. Yeah. If Phil gives us the call, and when the moment I realize it's Phil on the phone, it's like, yes, Phil, whatever you're about to ask us to do, we're on our way. Even if it's whatever it is, man, we're not, we're there. Absolutely.
And my ankles, man, it's like, it's telling me today, I regret what I did. I got you this time.
Yeah. Like he's been going to therapy and it wasn't, he didn't even have to get surgery or anything. It's just, they had to address what was going on with it. So we're ready, man. Yeah, we'll be there.
Well, I'm excited to see you then again on the future because I think you guys do really need redemption. So, Pops and Jeff, thank you so much for your time today. Amazing Race Wednesdays on CBS. Thank you, guys.
All right, Missouri.
Yeah. All right. Yep.